Manx Radio's Countryside is brought to you by NFU Mutual.
Hello and welcome to the brand new series of Countryside here on Manx Radio. I'm Simon Clark.
And I'm Kiri Kermode. We catch up with some of the people in attendance at the Leaf Open Farm Sunday down at Orrisdale and Ballasalla.
And I went along at the end of TT to find out how things had been on what are the newer campsites on the Isle of Man. Well, certainly a new location at Silly Moos up Andres. Well, Kiri, we're back and, the TT's finished and the weather's back again now. You wouldn't believe it, would you?
Isn't that just typical? Yeah. The Isle of Man all day can be all different seasons, but yeah, it's always the way, isn't it? We're glad the sunshine is here, though.
Yeah, and it's a tricky one for farmers, I always think, because a lot of the time the hay and the grass and the silage is ready for cutting around this time, and it can be quite awkward, I suppose, worrying for contractors and farmers who are driving big silage trailers around the countryside with a lot of motorbikes around, shall we say.
This is it. The visitors, they're wanting to get out and explore the island as much as anybody else wants to, but work still goes on these farms. And the sunshine, it's coming in sort of waves almost, isn't it? Where we're just getting 3 or 4 good days and then back to the rain. So there's a lot of pressure on the contractors to get round on everyone. Yeah,
well, I'm not sure if our dogs and Sam's dog are too happy because the field around our house was, a few feet high with the grass, waiting for a good opportunity to get it cut, and they were bouncing up and down in it, jumping it, and they came the other day and it's all cut down. But what a sight that is to watch now. Stephen Brew and Tank and all the contracting gang that come and do that grass. I mean, the mower now with one on the front of the tractor, one on the side does it. Massive hay turner, as I call them.
Yeah, of course.
What they're called now. And it spread the grass out over the whole of the field, so that it would dry instead of being in rows. And then a day or so later, they came back. The hay turner was reconfigured, rode it into big rows, and a massive round baler come and baled it and put the wrapping round and everything. Done in 2-3 days.
Well, this is it. It's incredible. But the investment in that machinery now, Simon, you're talking hundreds of thousands of pounds, and it's done so quickly, only a few operators. Once it would have took a team of people to do that work, and probably over a longer period of time as well. It's incredible how agriculture has moved on.
Yeah, I used to cut it with the old 35 Massey Ferguson with a reaper on it, with the blade going
Finger
backwards
bars,
and forwards. I'm like, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, and a few people still like to, get the drum mower out and the hay bob out and just do things a little bit slower.
But it sticks with you, that when you're cutting that grass with a reaper years ago, that smell of the freshly cut grass and the clover.
Oh.
Still now. Could eat a little bit of it. Anyway, let's get on with the programme because your family at Orrisdale opened the farm up. A lot of work went into it last minute, but wow, it looked fantastic, Kiri, on the day, and you got a lot of support.
Really did. It's a free event, and I do think that does help. But there is that connection still on the Isle of Man where people want to know where their food comes from, how it is grown, and they want to support and buy local. So it was a great day. It wasn't the sunniest of days, but it was very, very busy. And I caught up with some of the people in attendance. Well, I'm joined now by John Ward. John, thank you for coming to the open day for a start, but it was great to have the beekeeping stand there with everything you could ever imagine for children to look at. It was a great turnout of beekeepers also. How has the year been for you guys?
It's been a good day. I think a lot of children were enlightened by bees and how incredible they are. They managed to unpack a hive and pretend to be beekeepers and dress up in bee costumes. So it was, I think they really enjoyed it. They had a chance to go and taste different honeys, and also we brought along a live beehive. It's an observation hive, obviously. So they had to try and hunt the queen.
And did they manage?
Well, I mean,
it can't be easy.
It wasn't easy, but luckily I put a wee dot on the queen, so it was a bit easier. But it was a bit of a chilly day, so they found it a little bit tricky. Even some of the adults did, but yeah.
It's amazing because some of these children probably have never seen bees up that close, really.
No, it was quite amazing just to watch how they'd become enlightened, and manage to get in touch with some of the natural world around them, and it's just great to see the curiosity and the awe that you sort of see in them when they start to understand that the world's quite big and interesting.
It is, and it was funny. We were talking to the president of the show, and we just touched on beekeeping, and he said you kind of almost forgot how important bees are to the world.
Yeah, they're vital. Without them, obviously, a lot of our crops would not be able to be pollinated, all our orchard trees, so much that we rely on them. And it's not just honeybees, but all of our pollinators. And so whatever we can do to sort of look after them, we need to sort of be mindful of. And one thing I'm telling farmers is definitely if you can get more white clover in your pasture, it certainly helps not just honeybees, but every other pollinator as well.
And I think that's something that farming is sort of turning back towards some of the traditional methods, more sustainable ways of cultivating and planting crops that are helpful to the environment. And clover has definitely been one that's getting pushed more locally as well. So no, it's getting that balance with nature and farming, isn't it? Ultimately, that's what LEAF stands for, linking the two.
It is, yeah. And part of what we were trying to get across here today is also that we've got a unique island here. It is disease and pest free, a lot of it, and that includes bees as well. So just getting people mindful that to look after bees, not to feed them honey, because a lot of our shop bought honey has diseases in it. Best to make sure that they're feeding them with sugar water, and and also, they don't have to be beekeepers to look after pollinators. They can grow as many flowering plants as they can, and that does a huge amount for all our pollinators.
And that's it. Sometimes it's the simple things that we can all do in our gardens that do help.
Absolutely, yes.
And also with that, John, honey, how has the crop been this year?
Well, it's a bit hard to tell just yet. Some people are taking them off twice a year. I tend to take mine off just the once, but for those that are taking it off, it seems to be going relatively well. You've got to be careful though, because we have a period called the June gap where there's not a lot of flowering plants available, and so beekeepers that do take honey off, they've got to keep an eye on their colonies, make sure that they don't starve in this period. I tend to, and a lot of other people tend to harvest around about August. Okay. So fingers crossed, everything will go well. Last year wasn't too bad, so at the moment, looking at things, it looks okay. It's just the problem is if it's very wet, and they'll be locked up in their hives, and they'll eat all that honey. So.
Oh, I see. Okay, and that's the thing. Sometimes we get sort of blasted saying that we take all the honey and leave nothing for those guys, but that really isn't the case. You guys look after them very well.
Absolutely, yeah. We have to look after our bees, otherwise there's just going to be nothing left for us to look after, basically. So we're very, very careful with how we manage our bees and look and treat them well, and they'll treat us well.
Well, Keith Masson, President of the Southern District Agricultural Show. The show is nearly upon us, but here we are at Orrisdale today for Open Farm Sunday. A bit of a taster for what's ahead for you.
Yeah, very much so. We've had a lot of animals here today, and people obviously like to see livestock. What surprised me was, 10:30 opening doors and people coming in from 10, and it's been a good turnout. A lot of people, brings people closer to the industry, obviously,
And I think that's what's important, and linking back to the Southern District show as well, that is what it's all about, is getting people through the gates to understand what actual active agriculture is.
Yeah, it's trying to educate people on where their food comes from, and the link, I think, over the years has been lost between town and country, and it's trying to re-establish that. And not everybody's interested in livestock, but hopefully at the show we've got other things that they can come to. We have the bungee this year, which is a first.
First time, impressive. Yeah,
first time back for 15 years apparently. We've also, hopefully, we're going to have a motorbike show this year, continuing on from the truck show last year. So I think last year we got it pretty well right, and hopefully we can just add a few tweaks and build on that. So.
And to see the next generation running around, there's an awful lot of children at the Open Farm Day. Is that what we're encouraging through the gates?
Yeah, that's really what we need to encourage, is the future generations to know where their food comes from. Through education and through events like this, they can come and see, the lambs running around, and we had the goats today and we had cattle, and we need to establish that. That's the bit I think we've lost. So appealing to the children and stuff like that. And I think the kids have thoroughly enjoyed it today, feeding the animals and stroking the animals and all. And yeah, hopefully we can encourage one or two into the industry.
Yeah, and ultimately that's what it's all about, is keeping that skill set alive around the countryside. It was great to see the beekeepers here and how important bees are for our whole ecosystem.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. I mean, I think bees over the years have been sort of, they produce honey, but yeah, they do so much for our our industry and all industries, to be fair. Like, and without the bees, yeah, we'd be stuffed, really, to be honest.
And that's it. It's hard to believe, just a small insect, you know, it just sort of gets bypassed, like you said, Keith. And for this year, the entries will be now open for the show?
Yeah, the entry's now open, yeah. I think we've got a few spaces as well on some of the trade stands and stuff, but they are filling up quite quick. So, yeah, if you haven't already done it, do so. Get in.
Get involved.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And the dates for this year?
You got me on this one. I think it's the 25th, 26th of July. It's the last weekend in July, anyhow, yeah.
And have you picked your judge yet?
I'm not saying. Not saying.
But it is a privilege, Keith, I suppose, when you look at it, to be the president of the show. You know, you're following the footsteps of some great agricultural people, farmers and the like. You must be somewhat proud. It's an honour to be asked and stuff like that and everything else. And I'm more doing it for my father-in-law. He was very much involved in the show and stuff like that and everything else. And obviously my wife Andrea, she's very much involved. And yeah, so I was asked, and yeah, it's nice to do it. Yeah, it's nice to be asked. And like you just touched on there, it's a family show. Everybody's involved. The band of volunteers that you have around the committee to support in every aspect of the show is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. We're very lucky, really. Everybody's got their own individual areas to work on. You know, we have people for the dairy, we have people for the beef, the sheep, and everybody just knows what they're doing. And yeah, we're so lucky to have so many good volunteers and people that are willing to put the work in. And yeah, we're grateful for them, and yeah, because I think we're a smaller committee, it all works and it seems to fit together. And yeah, hopefully it'll go all right.
Well, now I'm joined with Caitlin Sloan. Caitlin, your table of 3 little ducklings and 2 bigger ducks has been maybe one of the star attractions here today at Open Farm Sunday. Now, these little ducklings are very special to you. Now, tell us why.
They're special to me because I hatched them from eggs in the incubator and I bought them locally.
And how long did it take for them to hatch?
So it's meant to take 28 days. With the bigger ones, it took 30 days. And with the younger ones, it took about 28 days.
Oh, wow. And they are absolutely gorgeous. And do they have names?
Yeah, so the bigger 2 are Pippin and Puddles. And then the younger ones are... We've got Boo, we've got Daisy, and we've got one that my brother Jack named, but I can't remember what he named it. It was a stupid name.
And what was it like in there today to have all the people crowding around looking at your homegrown ducklings?
It was very fun, but there was loads of little kids that kept trying to grab them and squeeze them, and I was like, oh God. It was very interesting.
And you're only 10 yourself, Caitlin, so it's so lovely to see you enjoying being out in the countryside. Why do you like the countryside?
I've just had a very big liking to it, especially when I came down to your farm, Kerry. I started loving all the animals and how hard it is. I love how different it is to everything else.
And do you think you'll carry on enjoying the countryside?
Yes, definitely. I want to be a farmer when I'm older.
That is very, very refreshing to hear, Caitlin. And like you say, in there today, hopefully, we might have inspired some of the next generation.
Yes, lots of people, lots of young kids are saying, I want ducks now, I want ducks, and the mum and the parents are saying, well, maybe when you're her age, so hopefully there'll be more people with animals and who like farming.
So it's an opportunity to get out and explore. And did you have a chance to walk around the barn?
Yes, I had a good look around the barn. It looked really good. I helped a bit to make a toy tractor, and it was very hard. It's a lot harder than it looks.
And what was your favourite part of today?
I liked shearing because I helped with the scissor thing, whatever.
Oh, the hand shears, the jousers as we used to call them.
Yeah, so I helped with the jousers to cut the wool, and I was very good at twisting.
Wrapping the fleeces.
Wrapping the fleeces, yeah. Because I just fold in the sides, roll it up, take a bit from the end, pull it, twist it, and fold it over and tuck it in.
You make it sound very, very simple.
It's very not simple.
Well done for today, Caitlin, and we hope that you enjoyed the Open Farm Sunday.
Yeah, I really did. Thank you, Kiri.
There we go. That was John Ward with the beekeepers, Caitlin Sloan with her little ducklings, and Keith Masson. He's the president of the Southern District Agricultural Show and who was there on the day.
Yeah, fantastic variety of knowledge from experience to up-and-coming potential people who are going to get involved in the agricultural world as well, Kerry.
This is it. There's so much enthusiasm, some great questions asked, but it's that support we really appreciate as farmers. But to give that opportunity to get onto a working farm and understand what goes on behind the scenes, there was some fascination and questions that, you know, they can ask and not feel silly about. So it was a good day. We really enjoyed it.
And it must have been, because to see younger kids at a reasonable distance, safely, I might add that.
Absolutely.
But, looking at the bull as close as they'd ever get to one in a way as well, isn't it?
This is it. And some of them said, I've not seen a cow in real life. I'm like, you're
Really?
joking. No. And they were up, within a couple of yards of it. And, they're massive, or didn't expect them to be so hairy. It was just an opportunity where, you can have that experience. And there's been a few questions asked about getting onto the animal management course at Isle of Man College. How to get involved with the young farmers and enjoy the social aspect of it. So it was a good opportunity. LEAF, this was its 20th year, linking the environment and farming, and I think it's so important that we back these campaigns.
You're listening to Countryside here on Manx Radio with Kiri Kermode and myself, Simon Clark. Well, a lot of visitors on the Isle of Man go to the various wonderful, I might add, campsites that are dotted around various parts of the Isle of Man. Well, Silly Moos has been going quite a while now, run by Fiona and Brian Brumby, and they moved location last year to a place near Andreas Airfield. And I popped along to speak to Fiona to see how this year's camping, along with the weather and the racing, had gone with the visitors. Well, Fiona Brumby, it's not been much weather-wise, but how's the TT at the Silly Moos been this year?
It's gone really well. Yes, the weather's been difficult, but we've got a big social hub where the campers can get out the weather. That helps tremendously. We're on a sand dune, which is brilliant, so it drains really well. Wednesday, Thursday was difficult with the amount of rain, but our campers kept smiling, and so did we.
Yeah. That's the thing about this. I drove in the gate here thinking, wow, the rain that we've had, particularly over the last 48 hours, I thought, will it be like a quagmire? But it's not. It's great.
No, it's dried out. It dries out really quick. If we have rain here, it's amazing. Within minutes, because it's sand, you can't even see it's rained. And we get the most sun here. We're in the sunny north. We're probably the sunniest bit of the island and the driest normally. So yeah, it's great from that point of view. And we get the wind, so that dries it out as well.
Well, obviously you were involved in the previous location with the Silly Moos and the move over here to the Andreas part of the old airfield. I mean, when was that? When did that happen?
We got planning last year, very close to TT. I think it was about 3 months before, so it was a bit of a rush to get it all up, but we got up and running for TT last year. Didn't have many campers, but it was good to get the site going. We then did the Manx, and that went well. We had a lot of support from locals, and we're up and running now for this year for both. So it's been great. It's been a learning curve, but good.
Yeah, and a big challenge moving. I mean, how does it compare size-wise and facility-wise?
It was a big challenge moving everything. We had to put everything in storage for a while. But size-wise, we're smaller. We're not going to have as many campers. So it's a smaller site, but it's easier to manage. It's a nice flat site. You can view it all from reception. We've got the same toilets and showers, which our campers really like. We did them up a few years ago. They're in very good condition. And yeah, it's all worked really well.
But I spoke about the views here, Fiona.
Yeah, the view's spectacular. You've got the whole mountain range. Our campers love the fact they can see the mountain section of the course. They know if the road's open because we can see vehicles going over it. We got a shot the other night. We could see all these lights up there. We thought, what's going on? And of course, it sadly been a crash, but it meant that our campers know the mountain's shut. The foreign visitors, we've got Belgian, French, Dutch, German, Swiss. They all absolutely love the view, you know, think the
Any
island's
Manx?
beautiful. We do have a few locals. They rent their houses out for homestay and they come and camp with us. So yeah, we do have a few Manx as well.
Rima, obviously, this site, Fiona, is the other site was on the course, basically. This one's a little bit further away. Has that been challenging or helpful with the racing? You know, the not people not sure whether it's going ahead or, you know, and they can stay here a bit longer?
I would say in general it's actually a benefit not to be on the course. Although we liked being on the course, we can get deliveries anytime. So from our suppliers like Robinsons and so on, WDS or whatever, it's much easier. For our campers, it's easier because they didn't like being shut out or shut in, you know, so although they liked being on the course from point of view of viewing, from every other point of view they prefer being off the course. So no, it's not been an issue at all. We've got a really good village shop, we've got a village pub, so you know, they've got supplies nearby. Obviously we've got on-site catering with North Harvest. So no, our bikers, weirdly, we never thought they would, but they actually like this site better. And yeah, it's what I like is so quiet. I mean, when we were on the course, obviously you got the constant noise of bikes on the course, and it's just lovely up here. We've got skylarks in the sky. The campers can't believe there's hares running around the tents. You know, it's a totally different sort of vibe, and yeah, everyone's happy with it.
Yeah, I suppose, is transport been difficult? Obviously, there's been a bit of kerfuffle with travel around the Isle of Man, particularly at the end of this week. But how has that been?
Yeah, transport is difficult. We're not on a main bus route. To be fair, the bus company have put some extra buses on as scheduled rather than having to book them, and that's really helped my campers. So they have tried to help. But yeah, for people who don't have a bike or a car and don't want to move their motorhome or van, it is more challenging out here. A lot of them bring bicycles. The north of the island's got relatively flat, so you know, a lot of them have got about with bikes. Some of our marshals cycle to their marshalling points from here. You know, it's not that far to Sulby Bridge, Ginger Hall, and so on. So no, it's a bit more challenging the other site, but generally people have been happy with it. And we go and rescue them. We've had several bike breakdowns. We've had to go and rescue people. The funniest one, I must tell you, we had a lovely Polish girl staying here who was a marshal, let's say very attractive girl, and she broke down in the middle of Colrenny plantation.
She's still here?
No, she's left now. She's left now. But she broke down in the middle of Colrenny plantation and dropped her bike. She had no idea where she was. She phoned me in a real panic. It was getting dark. And this is so funny. My husband, she did what 3 words, so we knew where she was. My husband went into the social hub. There's a lot of guys in there, and said, is anyone sober, not been drinking, could drive a van to go and rescue someone from Colrenny plantation? And it was all, you know, it was a few murmurs, no one really said anything. And then when he said who it was, and it was a very attractive female, literally everyone bolted out the door. I'll go, including Sam Murray, much to his girlfriend's disgust. It was highly amusing. But yeah, and then when we had a guy break down in Laxey and we wanted someone to rescue him, let's say they weren't quite so keen. So, but yeah, we've done quite a few rescues. A few of our campers got in trouble with the police over speeding, and we've had 1 bike impounded. But yeah, we help them as much as we can. That's what we're here for, you know, to help them in a crisis.
Well, even just walking around here, one fella had just come up and said, has anyone got a boost pack? You know, I can't get my bike started. And 2 people come up and said, yeah, I've got one here, I'll be round at yours. And that's the camaraderie that exists in the camping environment, isn't it?
Yeah, the camping, it relies on trust. We touch wood. I'm touching the side of reception. We've never had a phone stolen. You know, phones are out charging. Some people leave them all night. You know, they don't keep an eye on them. it's brilliant. The camaraderie, they're all here for the same reason. We've got a lot of marshals on our site. We do a sort of special rate for marshals because we want to support the racing. They pay a lot less than our normal campers. And so it creates a brilliant atmosphere. They all come every year, they know each other, and you get this brilliant camaraderie. It's interesting, we've had a lot more females on motorcycles this year, which is brilliant to see, travelling on their own. Some have come from abroad, and that's really good to see because it's a very male-dominated sport. But I know they're trying to promote more females to get into motorcycling, and we're seeing that.
And what about the future? Is that looking bright and positive for you on this particular site?
Yes, bookings for 2027 are coming in left, right and centre. Most of the people who've stayed this year say they want to come back next year, so obviously that's always good. I always worry what with our PC society, will the TT survive another year? But I'm hopeful it will, and there's plenty of people wanting to come to it. It's not put people off. It's been a very difficult year, obviously with the sidecar. Some of our campers did leave the island when they cancelled the sidecars. They were that upset. A lot of our campers have gone home early because of the weather. And we did have a lot of no-shows one day randomly. We couldn't quite work out why. Whether people looked at the weather forecast for race week and just decided they didn't fancy coming on a bike. But no, I think the future's bright. No one can do anything about the weather. We're always going to have to face that. But there's certainly the enthusiasm out there for the TT.
And the beauty of this is out here in Andreas, and we're sort of blessed with a lot of good campsites dotted around different parts of the island to suit everybody, really.
Yeah, I think people need variety. If they want a party site and to be like Monaco, they go near Douglas, where the sites are bigger and it's a bit of an all-night party. My campers want to get a good night's sleep. A lot of them are marshalling long days. They want a decent sleep. So we're a quieter site, and that works, and they love the Manx countryside. And we collaborated with Bride Tea Rooms, so we gave all our campers a voucher for Bride Tea Rooms to help them, because obviously they're relatively new, and that's been brilliant. They've really appreciated having some money towards buying tea and cake. Who doesn't like tea and cake? So yeah, it's nice working with the local businesses up here. It's been great.
Fiona Brumby from the Silly Moos campsite in their new location on the Andreas, by the Andreas airfield there from the Burma Road, as we know, out the one from Andreas to Bride. So and it was just great seeing there, and to be there when one of the things wouldn't start and somebody just come along and say, has anyone got I'll help you.
Oh,
it's just
fabulous.
great camaraderie that's amongst it, and the spectacular view that they didn't get every day.
No.
But it was just so nice to see the visitors accommodated for, and Fiona just mingling with them, and loving the of being involved, making her feel, even though she's not watching the bikes. Being
of course,
part of
she
the
likes the
TT,
bikes herself too, doesn't she? But that Manx hospitality, that tradition of welcoming people, they're very good at what they did at the K-Tree back then years ago, and they've brought it with them, and they don't lose that ability to chat with our visitors, point them in the right direction. And there were so many different accents, from around the world this year. It's a really special TT, although the weather didn't always help.
No, it didn't. And you heard you talking in your first pieces from the Leaf Day about the honey. And, of course, we've got 3 beehives, and we've took some honey out of ours now. And, again, you look at it and you think, surely it would have been full by now, but it's a tricky time with honey.
The weather hasn't just been as good as we'd like it. It's been quite cool. Practice week wasn't too bad, a bit of heat, but we could just do with a little bit more sunshine, couldn't we? Are we ever happy?
No, we're not. Anyway, we'll be back next week with more from the countryside. So until then, from me, Simon Clark.
And me, Gary Kermode.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.